Rookie sensation Caitlyn Clark capped off the Indiana Fever's home finale with a bang as she broke the WNBA's rookie single season scoring record. And she's had quite the impact on this team, as actually the Fever clinched a playoff spot for the first time since 2016 and officially clinched the 6th seed.
Picture this: a young phenom and a 7-year veteran, one's breaking records left and right. The others finally seeing her team rise from the ashes. Now imagine them on the same team in the same game, making history.
You've been turning this thing around as a team this season. As a coach, how reassuring or significant has it been to have that backcourt of Kelsey and Caitlyn who can kind of score at will and get you through some lulls or whatever you deal with throughout a season?
Yeah, man, they're special. I mean, those two right there can hit such big shots.
That's exactly what happened when Caitlyn Clark and Kelsey Mitchell faced the Dallas Wings on September 15th. And what's even more amazing, their partnership isn't just changing their careers, it's transforming the entire Indiana FI franchise. And the WNBA as a whole want to know how. Let's break it down.
Takes it home. Clark pushing. Mitchell backdoor lays it in.
Remember when the Indiana Fever couldn't catch a break? Well, let's talk about Kelsey Mitchell's wild ride. For 7 long years, Mitchell has been the heart and soul of the Fever. She's seen it all. The crushing losses, the empty seats, the frustration of missing the playoffs year after year. But something's different this season. There's a new kid on the block, and she's turning heads. Mitchell's always been a scoring machine. But now she's playing like she's got superpowers last season. She's averaged a career-high 19.2 points per game. That's not just good, it's record-breaking. Mitchell has shattered her own Fever record for most points in a single season, racking up an incredible 767 points.
Kelsey Mitchell, the type of player you cannot give her the time and space to shoot the ball because she will knock it down.
Mitchell is hooking. Here is a second quarter. Kick out Mitchell. Straightaway 3 buckets.
But here's where it gets interesting. Enter Caitlyn Clark. The rookie sensation changed everything for the team. Since Clark joined the Fever, Mitchell's game has gone into overdrive. After the Olympic break, Mitchell's been on fire, averaging a jaw-dropping 24.8 points per game. Good for second in the league. That's not just good, that's elite, and she became third in the league in field goal percentage for players taking at least 15 shots a game, hitting 46.7% of her field goals last season.
A lot of people don't understand that either about Caitlyn. You don't know where those passes are going.
No,
Yo,
it's going to go to where she thinks you're going to score from. She's like a football
quarterback.
She's passing you into a route.
Peyton Manning.
Yep.
Indianapolis' finest.
So how did Caitlyn Clark and Kelsey Mitchell become the WNBA's hottest duo? Overnight, it's all about chemistry history. Mitchell herself put it best. I just think that our pace alone is catching opponents off G-guard. A lot of people want to play fast. And with a young point guard, I get the best of both worlds. The veteran and the freshman are reading each other like a book, creating a partnership that's leaving defenses scrambling.
It's both doing what you do and making sure she does what she does to make sure you guys keep rolling.
I just think it's based on a read because it's like, I think the me and C Square try to do a great job of just kind of piggyback our games off one another, and I think it's based on how teams play us.
Now picture this: Mitchell and Clark side by side, ready to take on the Dallas Wings for their last home game of the 2024 season. On September 15th, they put on a show for the ages. Mitchell dropped 30 points, while Clark exploded for a career-high 35. Together they combined for a staggering 65 points. That's not just a game, that's a statement.
Just really proud of these players for what they've done, the work they've put in, the resiliency they've shown. It's just to get that number, and again, with Kelsey Mitchell, who's never experienced that, it's just really awesome.
But it's not just about the numbers. It's about the confidence, the trust, the mutual respect. Mitchell's words say it all. If Dallas thinks they're going to choose one, we both just have a chance to get what's ours. That's not just teammate talk. That's a warning to the rest of the league. But how special was that night, really, and how did it break? The WNBA...
Does 20 wins or 500 mean anything specific to you?
Oh man, it's a big deal. I've never accomplished something personally like that. So, hats off to our group. Hats off to the season so far. I say so far because, I look forward to hopefully a really good run for us in the playoffs. So, I'm excited about the 20 wins. I'm grateful. I know where I started and I know where I'm at now. So,
just when you thought you'd seen it all, Caitlyn Clark decided to rewrite the WNBA record books. Picture this September 15th, 2024, the Indiana Fever take on the Dallas Wings. The crowd's buzzing with anticipation. But little do they know, they're about to witness history in the making. Clark steps onto the court and the energy shifts. But hold on, because this story's got a twist. The first quarter ends, and Clark's only got 4 points to her name as this. Going to be a quiet night for the star point guard.
Rookie sensations turn Caitlyn Clark ready to put on a show. Her three-point jump shot is good, and the Fever inching on closer in this one. Well, guess who? Well, Clark again, you guessed it. She makes a three-point jump shot from 27 feet out to now pull within 5. And Clark just continuing to be in positions where she excels. The Fever still trailing, but finding a little bit of rhythm here in the second quarter.
Not a chance. Something clicks, and Clark explodes into action. It's like watching a video game character with cheat codes enabled. She's draining threes, threading impossible passes, and leaving defenders in her wake. The scoreboard operator is working overtime, and the statisticians are scrambling to keep up by the final buzzer. Clark's put up a mind-bending 35 points. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. With those points, she shatters the WNBA single season. Rookie scoring record, the previous mark, 744 points held by the legendary Simon Augustus Clark, blows past it like it's nothing.
If the crowd wasn't already electrified for the home finale, Clark nails this clutch three-pointer, and Indiana is walking away with a thrilling 110-109 victory tonight, with Clark finishing the game with 35 points.
But wait, there's more. Clark's not just a scoring machine. She dishes out 8 assists, proving she's as much of a playmaker as she is a scorer. It's this dual threat capability that's making her a nightmare for opposing teams. And those three-pointers, Clark knocks down 6 of them on 14 attempts. Here's where it gets really interesting. Clark and Mitchell combine for 12 of Indiana's 16 three-pointers. That's right. This dynamic duo is responsible for 75% of their team's long-range bombs.
I think today we take away from it the fact that we were able to walk away with a win when they got chippy. I don't know, you guys been watching, it don't happen. It took some time for us to get down to the stretch of games and walk away with a W. And so I'm proud of our group for that. We had people step up when a number was called. Dee Dee, Timmy. The list goes on, and so you can appreciate our group as a whole.
The Fever as a whole. They're not just winning, they're rewriting their own history. They match their franchise record for single-game scoring and tie their season high for three-pointers. Made it like the entire team caught whatever Clark's got. But let's zoom in on those clutch moments when the game's on the line. Clark steps up. She nails back-to-back three-pointers late in the game, helping the Fever maintain their lead. It's the kind of performance that separates the good from the great. And speaking of legends, even King James himself takes notice. LeBron James gives a shout-out to Clark and Mitchell on social media, calling them a dynamic duo. When you've got the NBA's all-time leading scorer tipping his hat to you, you're doing something right?
Look at this. These are the top 3 scorers in the WNBA since the women brought home gold in the Olympics a few weeks ago. 2 of the members are of the Indiana Fever, Caitlyn Clark and Kelsey Mitchell.
Think the Olympic break is just a chance to catch your breath. Not for Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlyn Clark. These two turned it into a launching pad, and now they're soaring to new heights. As the WNBA season kicked back into gear, all eyes were on who'd come out of the gates strong. But nobody could have predicted Ed the Storm that was about to hit. Suddenly, Mitchell and Clark were everywhere, topping scoring charts, dominating highlight reels, leaving defenders in the dust. It's like they went into some secret basketball lab during the break and came out as superpowered versions of themselves, and the numbers, they're mind-blowing.
Mitchell said basketball is a language and you have to get on the same page. Me and Caitlyn like to play fast and up-tempo, and I'm always going to align based on how she's playing and how she's going.
Let's break it down. Since the Olympic pause, Mitchell's been putting up a jaw-dropping 24.8 points per game. That's not just good, that's elite. It's got her sitting pretty as the second highest scorer in the entire league during this stretch. And Clark, she's right on Mitchell's heels, averaging 24.3 points, third in the league. Folks, third. We're not just talking about a dynamic duo here. We're talking about a 1W punch that's knocking the rest of the WNBA off its feet. But hold on, because it gets even better. Mitchell's been a model of consistency, dropping 20.
Kelsey Mitchell is, she's special, she's unique, she's one of the fastest players on the court all the time. You get her in any type of actions where it's her speed that's going to get her open, you can scheme for it, she's going to be able to get a touch just because of how quick she is. And then her ability to get downhill, I mean, when she catches and if you're there, you know, you need to be moving in that direction to have a chance to keep up with her. I mean, and then she's shooting the ball so well right now. Caitlyn and AB are drawing some attention in some of those pick and rolls, and the help side's having to come over, and it's just leaving her wide open for some great shots, and she's knocking them down, her and Lexi Hall as well.
And Clark, she's not just scoring. She's making history. She blew past the single-season rookie scoring record and the single-season all-time assist record. Clark didn't just break it. She shattered it.
Has been a historic year for the WNBA. You know the Drake line, I'm the rookie and the vet. Let's start with the rookie, Caitlyn Clark Kent. Superwoman, you see what I did there? She was on a tear.
And get this. Since the All-Star break, the Indiana Fever have been the hottest team in the WNBA, putting up a blistering 90.9 points per game. You think that's a coincidence, not a chance. Mitchell and Clark aren't just securing their own stats, they're elevating the entire team. Other teams are scrambling. How do you stop not one, but two players who are on absolute fire? Double team. Mitchell, Clark. Burns. You focus on Clark. Mitchell makes you pay. It's a nightmare for opposing coaches and a dream for Fever fans. But don't just take my word for it. Listen to what Fever coach Christy Sides had to say.
They're special. I mean, those two right there can hit such big shots. There's just ice in their veins, and they've got players around them who are helping them get open, you know, setting good screens, and then moving the defense as well. I mean, Kelsey is, you know, with her ability to get downhill, you have to guard her a certain way. Then she can just pull up on a dime. Caitlyn's able to, get her shot off so quick, and also get downhill and get to the rim. Those guys just make big shots. I mean, they're just two, the dynamic duo. I mean, that's who they are.
Ice in their veins. Indeed, when the pressure's on these two, don't just perform, they thrive. Ice in their veins is one thing, but what happens when that ice melts into pure fire? Mitchell and Clark aren't just thriving under pressure. They're creating a perfect storm on the court that's leaving defenses in shambles. But how exactly do their individual styles mesh to form this unstoppable force? Let's break it down. You've got Kelsey Mitchell, the seasoned pro, with lightning-quick agility and a deadly pull-up jumper. Then there's Caitlyn Clark, the phenom with court vision that seems almost superhuman on paper. You might think it'd take time for these two to click. But here's where it gets interesting. They're defying basketball logic.
Getting the recognition that you deserve, but maybe weren't necessarily getting before.
No, it's a great question. I think that I think the reality of it is that I don't think people want to know without C-squared. So shout out to Caitlyn. That's just the reality. I think she's done an unbelievable job of bringing, obviously her own fans and people that support her. But for me, I kind of laugh at it and I embrace it at the same time because I've always kind of flew under the radar. I've always kind of been that person or that player, very conservative, very introvert. So now I get to see the flip side of it. And it's kind of funny. I can laugh about it because I know it's come from a genuine place, but I embrace it from a standpoint of like people not guaranteed to see me play, and now that they do, I just hope I do right by it.
Picture this: Mitchell's blazing down the court, her defender struggling to keep up in a blink. Clark's already spotted the opportunity. The ball whizzes through the air, finding Mitchell in perfect stride. It's like they've got some kind of telepathic connection. But it's not magic. It's the result of two incredibly skilled players, whose abilities perfectly complement each other. Clark's ability to read the court isn't just good, it's game-changing. She's not just seeing what's happening now, she's anticipating 3 moves ahead. And Mitchell, her agility isn't just about speed. It's about creating space where there shouldn't be any. When you combine Clark's vision with Mitchell's movement, you get an offensive partnership that's giving defenders nightmares. But here's the kicker. It's not just about their individual skills. It's about how they make each other better. Clark's presence on the court opens up new opportunities for Mitchell. Defenders can't focus solely on Mitchell anymore, not with Clark's threat from deep range. And when Mitchell and weaving through traffic, drawing attention, it creates those pockets of space that Clark exploits with surgical precision.
Changed the world in so many ways. You've done it with so much grace, and I'm so happy to take the floor with you, to be a part of this experience. I'm going to tell you to give yourself some grace, kid. You've done a lot of things that not a lot of people can do, and from me to you, I'm always going to be a fan. I'm always going to be in your corner. I'm always going to be in your backcourt.
Are you ready for the secret sauce that makes this duo truly special? It's their chemistry. The trust they've built in such a short time is nothing short of remarkable. Clark doesn't hesitate to make those risky passes because she knows Mitchell will be there. Mitchell doesn't second-guess her cuts because she trusts Clark will find her. But don't just take my word for it. Listen to what Clark herself had to say. It's hard to pick and choose when both of us are on it. Puts the defense in a really tough spot. That's not just confidence, that's an understanding of how their styles create a perfect storm for opposing teams. And guess what? This dynamic duo isn't just changing the game for themselves. Their synergy is elevating the entire lineup when defenses scramble to contain Clark and Mitchell. It opens up opportunities for players like Lexi Hull and Aya Boston. Suddenly, the whole team is playing with a new level of confidence and freedom. Let's talk about the ripple effect Clark and Mitchell are creating. Picture this: 2 players not just changing their own games, but revolutionizing an entire franchise. The Indiana Fever, once struggling, are now the hottest team in the WNBA. That's not just a comeback story. That's a basketball renaissance. But here's where it gets really interesting. Clark and Mitchell aren't just lighting up the scoreboard. They're redefining what's possible in the WNBA. Their combined firepower has the league on notice. This isn't just about two players finding their groove. It's about the birth of a new era in women's basketball. Every time Clark and Mitchell step on the court, they're not just playing a game, they're making history. So next time you tune into a Fever game, remember you're witnessing the future of basketball unfolding right before your eyes. Do you agree? Let us know in the comments. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. So you never miss out, click the video on the screen, and we will see you in the next one.